Hello and welcome back. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to create a vendor purchase order. So let's get started. First, in the main navigation panel, click on the Vendors tab. Once you've clicked on that, in the left navigation, you'll see a tab called Vendor Purchase Orders. The Vendors Purchase Orders tab will give you a selection of options to choose from. For now, we will click Vendor PO Entry. Once the page has loaded, in the Content panel, you'll see a form called Purchase Order Entry. This is where we will be creating our vendor purchase order. Before we begin, let's quickly discuss the reasons why creating vendor purchase orders are important. The vendor purchase order is a document generated by the vendor in order to authorize a purchase transaction. Purchase orders allow you to modify and review details such as company information, shipping details, order information, and etc. If you're not familiar with the terms used in each section, don't worry. Orbit has provided a help service called Ask Lola. If there's an input field or term that you're not familiar with, click on the question mark next to it, and a pop-up will explain what the input field is and how you can fill it out. As you can see under the Header tab, there are 5 sections: General Information, Dates, Total, Billed to, and Shipped to. Under General Information is PO number. PO number is a number that uniquely identifies a purchase order. It is defined by Orbit. Click on the drop-down next to the PO number. This will provide you an option to make a new vendor purchase order and also view your other vendor purchase orders. In order to create a new vendor purchase order, click on New. Vendor contains all the vendors you currently do business with. For this example, let's choose Regal Logistics. There are different types of purchase orders such as blanket, new orders, released, and standalones. The types detect how orders should be processed. For this example, we will choose blanket purchase order. Department is a specialized functional area within an organization or a division. The PO tells us which department the orders are for. For now, let's say the order is for the marketing department. Status displays what stage the purchase order is at. For this PO, its status is open, which means that the purchase order has yet to be accepted or declined. There are other status such as void, accepted, on hold, routed, exception, in warehouse, invoiced, and closed. PO date is the date when the PO was created. To enter the date, click on the input field and a small calendar will appear. Use the arrows to change between months or click on the drop-downs and select the month and the year. Then click on the desired date. Let's say the PO date was created on July 1st, 2017. Requested ship date is the date which the orders are desired by. Let's input July 26, 2017. Cancel date is the last day the vendor can cancel the PO. We will pick July 15th, 2017. Ship not before date is the date that tells the vendors not to deliver before this date. This is not a required field, so the not before date can be left blank. Let's input July 22nd, 2017. Ship no later date is the date that the order should not be delivered after. This is not a required field, so the no later date can be left blank. Let's pick July 29th, 2017. After filling out the general information, let's move on to the section on the right. Here we have the tabs Shipment and Terms and Freight. First, in the Shipment tab, we have 3 sections: Total, Billed to, and Shipped to. The Total section calculates the final amount of the overall purchase order. Everything is 0 because we haven't inputted any items, discounts, or charges yet. Under the Billed to section, the information of your company is automatically filled into its designated fields. This allows the vendor to know who to bill to. Your company's information will appear here because you're the one creating the vendor purchase order. The information here can only be changed by modifying your company's information in the company profile page. The Ship to section tells the vendor who to ship the orders to. Click on the drop-down next to the account and select the sites that your company manages. Let's say we want to ship the orders to the site HDLA1. The information here can only be changed by modifying the store's contact in the site management page. Next, click on the Terms and Freight tab. Terms of Sales is the code identifying the type of payment terms. The options are 10 days after EOM, Basic discounts, end of month, fixed dates, discounts not applicable, and Proximo. For terms of sales, we will pick basic. Terms basic date code is a code identifying the beginning of the terms period. Codes that are currently offered by RxN are ship date, delivery, invoice, effective, and receipt of goods. We'll choose delivery date. Discount percent is a discount available to the purchaser if an invoice is paid on or before the term's discount due date. Let's input 5% as a discount percent. Discount days is the number of days in the term's discount period by which payment is due if term's discount is earned. Let's make 7 days as the discount days. Terms net day is the code identifying the number of days until the total invoice amount is due. Let's make 30 as the term's net day. Discount day of month due is the number of months in the term's discount period by which payment is due if term's discount is earned. Let's make 1 month as the discount day of month. Day of month due is the code identifying the day of month the purchase order is due. Let's make 20 the day of month due. Approximate month is the number of months you have to make a payment for your purchase order. Let's make 3 the approximate month. Approximate days is the number of days you have to make a payment for your purchase order. Let's make 25 the approximate days. Next, under the freight section is FOB method payment and FOB location. FOB method payment is how shipping and handling will be paid. There is a list of payment methods such as third party, bill recipient, consignee billing, cash on delivery, collect, prepaid, and prepaid and charge. Let's choose freight payment third party. FOB location lists the location of the warehouses. The warehouses are located in LAX Cargo Operations, Los Angeles Long Beach Seaport, Ontario Airport, and Port of Tacoma. Let's choose Ontario Airport. Once the general information, shipment, and terms of freight have been filled out, let's move on to the Details tab. The Details tab displays the detailed information about the orders. At the bottom of the content panel, click on the plus icon to add the items. Once you've clicked on the plus icon, a pop-up will appear. This is where we will select the items and place it into the vendor purchase order. Click on the drop-down next to the item number. This lists all the products that are currently held in the inventory. For now, let's choose Greenies. Once an item has been chosen, the information pertaining to the item will automatically fill into its designated fields. Pack determines how it's physically stored in the warehouse. SKU or stock keeping unit is a product and service identification code for a store or product. It helps track the item for inventory. UPC, also known as Universal Product Code, is a 12-digit code that uniquely identifies a product. EAN 13 stands for International Article Number. It is similar to the UPC code except it is 13 digits in length and widely used in European countries. GTIN 14, also known as Global Trade Identification Number, is a unique 14-digit number assigned by the GS1 US organization. UOM, or Unit of Measure, is a standard unit or system of units by means of which a quantity is accounted for and expressed. Next is the charges section. Quantity is how much there is of that item. Let's make 30 the quantity. Then entering the quantity, the number will affect the list amount, sales amount, tax amount, and net amount. Unit price listing tells you how much you want to sell to your customers for this item. The unit price listing displayed here can be found from the Product Master entry under Unit Cost. Unit sales price tells you how much you want to sell to your customers for this item. The unit sales price displayed here can be found from the Product Master entry under Unit Price. You have the option to change the unit sales price, but for now, we'll keep it as $30. List amount is the product of quantity and unit list price. Because the quantity is 30 and unit list price is 30, the list amount will be $900. Sales amount is the product of quantity and unit sales price. Because the quantity is 30 and the unit sales price is 30, the sales amount will also be $900. SAC, otherwise known as the Service Allowance and Charge, is used to request or identify a service, promotion, allowance, or charge. The SAC amount is 0 because no SAC has been attached to the PO. Tax amount is an amount paid to the governing body for the sales of certain goods and services. It is influenced by the company's tax rate. In this case, it is 9%, making the tax amount $81. S&H amount is the cost of shipping and handling. Let's set it to $5. Net amount refers to the amount remaining after certain adjustments have been made for deductions or expenses. Net amount equals quantity times sales unit price minus applied discounts, SAC, and tax amount. In this case, the net amount is currently $981. Below the general information and charges is a section called SAC. Going back to SAC, we know that SAC is used to identify an allowance or charge. To create a SAC, go to the bottom of the panel and click on the little plus icon. A pop-up will appear and it will display its details. SAC type identifies which type of charge or allowance should be applied to the item. There are two types, A and C. A is for allowance and C is for charge. SAC charge code labels what kind of allowance or charge it is. If we choose A as our SAC type, charge codes such as Central Buy and Cents Off will appear under SAC charge codes. In this example, let's say SAC charge code is Cents Off. SAC handling method has different methods such as bill back, off invoice, vendor check to customer, credit customer, charge paid by vendor, and charge paid by customer. Let's pick off invoice as our handling method. Amount is the sum of money that will be either added or reduced to the item depending on the SAC type. Let's input 10. Click Save to save the SAC. Clicking Cancel will not create the SAC. Once saved, the SAC should not only appear in the grid but also appear in the SAC field above, and it will also change the net amount. Let's add another SAC, but instead of type A, we'll use type C. By choosing C as the SAC type, charge codes such as access charges and acid will appear under the SAC charge codes. In this example, let's say the SAC charge code is access charges. For the rest of the fields, let's make the SAC handling method bill back and amount $40. Once saved, you can see that the SAC has changed. The first SAC gave an allowance of $10, while the second SAC gave a charge of $40, making the SAC amount to be $30. By clicking on the headers, you can sort by type, charge code, charge description, handling method, and amount. To edit SAC, click on the pencil icon. To remove an SAC, click on the trash can icon. Once done with your item's detail, click on the Save button at the bottom of the pop-up. Clicking Cancel will not add the item to the order. When adding greenies, its details are added into the total section. If we add more items, their details will be combined to make the total. Total in this section also appears onto the Total section under the Shipment tab. Finally, click on the Additional Properties tab. It will contain a SAC section. Unlike the items detail, these apply to the vendor purchase order overall. When you're done filling out the vendor purchase order entry, go to the Header tab and click on the Save button at the bottom of the content panel. A pop-up will appear stating that the purchase order has been successfully saved. Orbit will automatically assign a purchase order number to the PO. And there you have it. You have learned how to create a vendor purchase order. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you soon.